So welcome back, everyone. I wonder if anybody knows, but this Saturday, it's Acupuncture Medicine Day. I have the perfect guest on for that. Get ready for it. I have with me Kirby Woods, and he is one of the owners of Love, Light, and Healing Center. Welcome to the show. You got to tell everybody a little bit about yourself, what you do, and you must be pretty excited that Acupuncture Day is coming up. I know everybody's jumping up and down, you know.
I absolutely loved it. The one thing I love about this holiday is acupuncture in this country isn't very well thought of, or not thought of at all, really. I mean, we love it. The people who experience it absolutely love it. But it's not something that has kind of become mainstream. We think about, oh, my aches and pains, I got to go to the doctor. We don't think about, maybe my acupuncturist can help me with that. And that's the cool thing, to see people live a better life with something that isn't surgery and it's not pills. You know, it's something that is much more one-on-one, very unique and very individualized. And Acupuncture Medicine Day, which used to be called Acupuncture and Oriental Medicine Day, so we changed it a little bit.
A little tiny. Why did you change it?
Well, Oriental in and of itself is a little bit racist. It's a little bit of as somebody described me, Kirby, I am Asian, I'm not a Ruk.
Okay.
so it's kind of a little bit of a sticky subject. We tried to be more inclusive, and in trying to be inclusive, we kind of said something that really.
You know what I thought you were going to say? That it's not so thought of that way anymore, because here in Western medicine we're using it more, right?
Yeah, well, it is growing by leaps and bounds. I mean, there's a ton of companies out there, a ton of individuals out there that they're doing exactly what I'm doing. So yes, it is growing, but it's not necessarily mainstream yet.
Right. Right. You know what? It's coming this Saturday, so you must be really excited about it. And here's what I want to talk about. You know, for anybody that's dealing with, okay, obviously pain. Mm-hmm. What else that you can? I know you said had done for headaches. Mm-hmm. But what other things?
Oh, we can do emotional stuff. So, for instance, somebody that suffers from anxiety, or specific anxiety or general anxiety. So, stress from test taking, say, or just there are some days that I just wake up grumpy and don't like the world. Okay, that's no problem.
Have a little acupuncture in your phone.
Exactly. Can be really good for gynecological stuff. So, ladies that up to and including fertility, but even that time of the month is really painful and uncomfortable, we can help with that. Mm-hmm. If there's things like gastrointestinal stuff, so heartburn, or frequent bouts of diarrhea, IBS, things like that, we can help quite significantly with all of these different things.
Wow, and people don't realize that. It's pretty neat. Now, we're going to open up the line to the audience for everyone to get entered in to win either you do massage there as well.
Correct.
So a 1 hour massage, or what they call a 1 hour of nadda. Explain what nadda is.
Really cool stuff. So it's 5 needles in each ear, and they go to the very roots, if you will, of the human experience, the emotional and physical aspects of life. It was originally put out as a way to help addicts with the detox process to come out of it. In fact, it stands for National Acu Detox Association, and has recently been used for the last 15 years by an organization called Acupuncturists Without Borders for any kind of trauma, whether it be earthquakes or tsunamis or war, just to help people get back to quote unquote move on.
I could use that. I went through the Northridge earthquake. I lost my house. Believe me, I was a wreck.
Yeah, and
so emotionally, it can help for that.
Absolutely, it helps to just really adjust to this term that we've coined this year, the new normal.
Yeah.
To get back into this swing of things, right? To where we're not so caught up on things that have changed and how they've changed and why they changed. Why me? Get back to that.
Here's the thing: is that a lot of people who are dealing with stress, who are dealing with pain, you've been going to the doctors and you're getting the pills and you're going and you're doing, and now you might even be getting surgery or what have you. Maybe it's time to try something a little different.
Absolutely.
That is not, I mean, certainly it's been around for a gazillion years, right? But it's not going to hurt you in any way. It's
Correct.
It's safe,
Correct.
right?
Correct.
So we're going to open the lines for everybody to be able to get a 1 hour, either you want the massage, the nadda, whatever you want. They also have other modalities that you also do work with there. We want to talk about that. Our number here to get this is 602-277-5369, and toll free it's 1-866-536-1100. They are located in Gilbert. They're rated with the Better Business Bureau. They are do free consultations, and their website is Love, Light, and Healing Center, az.com. And they do this consultations for people because it's a good thing to talk about this kind of thing, to understand it. I think that it's wonderful that people can get educated on this.
Yes.
And maybe try a little tiny bit. I mean, is the ear the best place to start, or what?
It depends. For people that are really needle sensitive, the ear can be a good way to get them involved.
Because it doesn't hurt?
I'm never going to say it's painless. I'm going to say that it's a very different experience than we think. It's not a hypodermic needle. It's not a big gauge needle that's going to leave a hole. So the ear can be quite phenomenal in the fact that this little bit of sensation and then zonk out and go to sleep. But we've had people completely fall asleep snoring, like so much so that they're disturbing other people, which is okay. It's fine. But sometimes other ways that we can approach things for children and things like that, they're so curious by nature. Body points, they can kind of see it and like, oh, this is really cool. Look at this thing. You know, so we have to individualize even that aspect to it. Where is it we can dip our toes in the water and get this started for?
So you can check them out. It's Love, Light, and Healing Center, az.com. Call in here. It's the 1 hour massage or the 1 hour of nadda, which those are the 5 needles that go into the ear. I would try it in a minute. I want to do that. I think it's so awesome for people need to try something like this, and it could just change your entire life, I bet. Now, thermography.
Yep.
I saw that was something that you're going to be bringing in, and I want to talk about that because it is huge. People think well, tell them what it is. I already know.
So thermography, the best way I can describe it is using infrared camera, special camera, to read body temperature, surface body temperature, and from there look at where things are different, where than what we would expect. So, if for instance, let's say low back pain, with the muscles being tight on one side and loose on the other, there's going to be a change in temperature that we can read one side or the other. Now we know where we can focus our energies and our intent to change something for that low back pain. For things like breast exams, it's been said that thermography can detect something going on in breast tissues up to 10 years before it will show up on a mammogram. Phenomenal stuff, and it's all based on circulatory system and the heat released from blood through the vessels in the skin. We can use it in a million different ways, even looking at things like thyroid health, for instance, without adding any other radiation to the system. So it's phenomenal.
But what about pain? I know people that have, like they're going to go have a knee replacement, what have you. Can you see all of that there when they're starting to deal with that?
Well, you'll see. So basically, in essence, if you think about it, the natural response to injury in the human body is swelling, right? Inflammation. That's going to have some heat in it. So let's say that it's a rheumatoid, or no, let's not say rheumatoid. Let's say it's an osteoarthritis type thing. So over a long period of time, there's inflammation around that joint. If we identify that before that inflammation can start to do damage and start to deal with it long before it's starting damage, we're going to be able to actually stop the process and maybe not have that need.
And that's where maybe the acupuncture might come in, where you start to do things like that. Is that how that works?
Well, that's one of the things chiropractors are often using this. This is kind of where I started. Look at these inflammation points, figure out what the treatment is, but then use the thermography as a follow-up. Look at how these heat patterns are changing. Acupuncture would do the same thing.
So a lot of people think that acupuncturists and chiropractors are like the same. They'll do the same. But you're not. I want to explain that.
Yeah. I'm not allowed to actually do manipulations to actually adjust joints. It's kind of sad because we do have a tradition within Chinese medicine, Zheng Wu Tui Na, bone setting technique is what it's often called. But that's really under the realm of the chiropractor. I'm okay with that. I would rather an expert that studies that, does that kind of thing. However, we also work very closely together because at the end of the day, alignment is health. And if we can help keep people in alignment, then we're going to help keep them healthy.
Now, their website is Love, Light, and it's all spelled out, and healingcenteraz.com. You can check them out on their website. They're great with the Better Business Bureau. They do free consultations. This Saturday is going to be Acupuncture Medicine Day, and he's very excited about that. You can call them direct at 480-465-8402. Have a consultation whether you're dealing with stress, this is a great time to be talking about that kind of stuff, because a lot of people out there are stressed out, anxiety. Oh my gosh, I know a lot of people that are dealing with a lot of issues. It doesn't necessarily just have to be pain. We kind of think of that for that, but you know what? The acupuncture could just be something that could release something, and the next thing you know is you're feeling fantastic. And maybe you don't do it once. Maybe you do it. What is it? Maybe you start off with 3-4 times, and you have to maybe do it less and less and less. And you can check them out on their website. It's Love, Light, and Healing Center AZ.com. We've got our lines open here for everyone to get entered into. And we've got 1 hour massage or the nadda, which is 5 of these acupunctures in the ear. 602-277-5369.
It gets more fun every time.
So, and I think when we talked about it, and we'll talk about this after the show, I would almost love it where we try to open it up to the audience, you know, where we say, today I just want to talk about, and I would love for you to maybe to do something like that, maybe, you know, whatever, but to me, yeah, we'll talk about it after the show, yeah, but not just for that, but just for like, you know, I mean, I know a lot of people that they might shy away from this normal because they're saying, oh my God, but when they hear this and they get them into the room, and you're like talking to them, and you find it, and you say, you know what we can do, this, and then all of a sudden they're open to it because they're already there. Right. Does that make sense?
Right. Yeah. Absolutely.
It does get a little bit more fun as you do it, just because we also get connected too.
Right.
So in terms of the break part, 2 weeks still on live on Facebook, for you, what do people, one thing that they come in for most often, pain, neck pain?
You know what's really funny? Generally speaking, you would expect that. You would expect that it is pain. In my clinic, I see much more emotional stuff with a little bit of physical stuff thrown in. So yeah, it's kind of crazy, but yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
And we don't think about that at all, but it makes sense to release that. Release little anger issues. And
Right.
we'll talk about that. Dang it, I want to do that. Okay, now. Reminds me of George Jetson. A big George Jetson. Do you know who that is? You may not. You might be too young. George Jetson. He's a
Jeffrey, yeah.
He's a cartoon character.
Yep. That's funny, I see it too. Yeah, now that you mention it, yeah. That's funny.
It just does. So welcome back, everyone. Saturday, guys, you're going to be really excited about this because Saturday is Acupuncture Medicine Day. I know, I can't wait. And, you know, people shy away from this. We've been talking a little bit at the break here on Facebook to everybody. I'm talking with Kirby Woods. He's the owner of Love, Light, and Healing Center. They're located in Gilbert. We've got our lines open here for people to get entered in to win a 1 hour massage with, everybody loves that, right? Or the 1 hour of nadda, which is the 5 little acupuncture needles that go in the ear. But guess what? If you've ever tried it, you would absolutely love it. But people shy away from it. We're going to talk about that in a minute. But we've got a lines open here for everybody to get entered into win this. And let me tell you, you're going to really love, and you're going to love to try it. And if it isn't you, for you, give it to someone else. 602-277-5369. And toll free is 1-866-536-1100. At the break, I was talking to you about what's the number one thing that people come in to you for, and I obviously said pain. said, nope. Go ahead.
Well, it's interesting. People always think about pain. In fact, when you look at the World Health Organization, their 73, 70 plus listings are all pain. What I really truly see more frequently in my practice, and it's different. Every acupuncturist out there has a little different practice, but in my practice, more psycho-emotional stuff. I see a lot of anxiety. I see a lot of stress. I see a lot of just insomnia and sleep stuff.
Let's talk about sleep. A lot of older people can't sleep.
Yeah. It's interesting. The curve of life, we don't sleep very much when we're babies. Like, a lot of times people, mothers will say, oh, he sleeps 15 minutes, 20 minutes, an hour, whatever, and he's up for hours and hours. And the same pattern the older we get. So we can adjust that a little bit, because in Chinese medicine, emotions can be completely normal, and it happens multiple times a day, and they kind of come and go, just like the ocean waves, or they can be pathogenic. So we can, like during the break, we talked about a little bit of anger. Anger is a normal emotion. It comes up. When it becomes a lifestyle, now we have sickness, right?
Everybody's in that lifestyle.
Yes.
They're all angry.
Well,
we are all.
It's our normal, what is normal for us in our modern life. We're always connected to social media. We're always on computers and internet. We can get instantaneous information from around the world right at our fingertips at any time.
And when it doesn't happen, we get angry.
Exactly. And so it's something that's been encouraged by our modern life, and it doesn't have to be that way. We can actually be okay leaving that device in the car, or not even having on it for a while, or whatever, and getting back into it.
It's interesting that you brought that up, because my daughter, who's 27, she was saying to me a couple days ago, I am going to turn my phone off an hour before I go to bed.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, okay, I was shocked.
Right.
But is there something to that? Because you just happened to mention that. What is it, something new that people are saying they're just on their phone too much, or what?
Well, so first of all, the screens today are really something called blue light. And blue light actually goes through our eyes and affects our brain. So it makes it harder to produce melatonin, so we don't slip into a peaceful, restful sleep. So there's that issue there. On top of that stimulation, like during the day, we're up and around doing what we need to do, writing wills and all the other things our first job and not. We're doing all that kind of stuff. We're supposed to be awake, and then we're supposed to be able to set that aside, leave that in the office, go home, enjoy the family, and drift off into a peaceful sleep. We're not doing that because of those devices. So giving ourselves a little bit of time to come down off that device, to allow the body to set back into that certain normal circadian rhythm and be able to go to sleep, is a huge thing.
And how does where do you put the needles in for the sleep?
It depends on the pattern. We have to figure out what's going on with that person, so that we know where we need to adjust things, and then we need to go back into there.
Is it the same thing when you're talking? Let's talk about digestive systems. Is it the same thing, and that everybody's got a different pattern? So
yes. So for instance, let's take something really simple like heartburn. All right, they call it GERD in the medical field, gastroesophageal reflux disease. There can be a liver pattern involved with that, so we're beating up on the digestive organs, and we have this rising of stomach acid and that heartburn feeling. It can also come from stomach heat. It can also come from a coldness that is now creating a rebellious chi, is what we call it. So there's just three patterns that have totally different treatments. We're going to warm the stomach in the case of coldness. We're going to cool the stomach in the case of heat, or we're going to sedate the liver and regulate chi. Right? Totally different, depending on everybody.
you say chi so easily. What is it?
Well, that's a really hard.
It's not cheese. It's chi.
Well, it can be multiple chi, but let's not go there. The character for chi, when you look at it, it actually has all three states of matter. It's got a flowing river, it's got wind blowing across that river, and it's got little grain of rice instead. So it's solid, liquid, and gas. It literally is this force that just flows around and through everything that we do. Sometimes it's called life force or energy when it's translated, but it's not quite correct. And I don't like necessarily using those. I think it limits the capability of this stuff. It's really this essence that we don't really understand and we can't really necessarily interact with that makes people who and what they are, right? So you're not the same as me because we have very different personalities, which is a offshoot of chi that's flowing or in our system, regulating ourselves.
Now, in the office, do you work with herbs as well?
Yes.
So let's talk a little bit about that.
Absolutely.
A long time ago, I visited a place like that. It was so neat. Go ahead.
I love the ears. To me, they have a little bit of a song to them. I just really love being around them. In fact, when I talk about my story, herbs play a key role in why I became an acupuncturist. I love the fact that here are these things that Mother Nature provided for us, and we get to learn how to use them and use them to help people feel better in conjunction with the acupuncture, in conjunction with the food therapy. I love the herbs. They do some amazing things.
So you give herbs to people,
Mhm.
and is it ending up to be like in a tea form, or how do they take it?
I would love my patients to take it in the tea form. The downside is it takes a little bit of time to prepare. It doesn't taste very well, and it isn't necessarily family friendly, from the scent and odor of things. So in today's modern world, we have companies that are compounding them for us, making
Yay!
pills and tablets, so we can get that way. But the most powerful way to do it is actually to make the tea and drink
Right,
the tea.
right. So let's say somebody is dealing, I don't know, with another, you brought up, we talked a little bit of another different ailment that you might use your herbs for. Well, obviously migraines for sure. Right?
For sure.
What else?
Gynecological issues. So, for instance, let's say that time of the month is very, very painful, or there's a lot of bloating, or there's a lot of emotional upset, right? All of these, I have herbal formulas that I can help to address that, depending on the pattern again. Let's talk about pain. So, for instance, I have a patient right now. He is 86, and his low back is really bothering him. I have an herbal formula for that, specifically for his age, his level of activity leading up to this occurrences, and other signs and symptoms that I have going on. He's been on those formulas and has pain and discomfort.
So from the young folk, what about us older folks, like incontinence and stuff like that? Can you or no?
Yes.
Listen up, everyone. If he said
Absolutely.
yes.
Absolutely.
Unbelievable. So there's really almost anything that you can help with that. Is that correct?
I like to tell people there are certain things that with modern regulations I'm not allowed to touch, but in those particular cases I can help in many cases. Just being able to be available and to show a small improvement is a world of difference to somebody that's going through these kind of things.
So do you travel?
Yes.
I didn't see that. This is the first time I'm looking at it. Go ahead.
Yeah, 2 days, about 2.5 days a week.
Where do you go?
I live in Queen Creek, so I try to keep out in East Valley, but I have patients in Phoenix. I go to Mesa, Gilbert, Queen Creek, Chandler, Santan
So
Valley.
you're mobile.
All over the place, yeah.
Okay.
2.5 days a week.
So you go to people's homes or offices? How do you do that?
Predominantly into their homes, but if they need me in their office, I go to their office.
Right. And how does that work right now with COVID? I have to ask that question right now.
We make sure that I'm always wearing my mask, that we're sanitizing everything between the patients. I mean, and it's the same thing in the office.
So he can even come to you guys. So you can call them direct. Their phone number is 480-465-8402. They're located in Gilbert, but he comes to you, so it doesn't really matter. Better Business Bureau, he's also does free consultations. The website is lovelightandhealingcenteraz.com. And we've got lines open here. I almost wish I knew that you had that with the herbs too, because I think I would love to get that too. So 1 hour massage or the 1 hour of nadda, which again, tell them what that is.
National Acu Detox Association, 5 needles in each ear to really just help with everything.
And also, guess what? Saturday is Acupuncture Medicine Day. I know he's super, super excited about that, and I bet you guys are too. But you know what? Let me tell you something. This is something that today you have to look at it all different things, right? And it makes sense, and that's what I love about my show the most, is that it's information for people. Maybe it is you, maybe it is someone you know. I know somebody, I'm going to tell them about it, and they're dealing with something. You don't have to. That number to call here to get entered in to win is 602-277-5369, or check him out on his website. It's lovelightandhealingcenteraz.com.